Hey y'all, Advocacy Manager Reagan Stone here. Just this month, our team has exposed the truth behind redistricting, visited and humanized with the people and children held at migrant detention centers, and brought 3 of the 6 statewide Democratic office candidates right to you. But this work, it just isn't free. And just as Trump's agenda risks silencing the truth we tell at Progress Texas, we've hit a 3-month window of funding our year-round progressive campaign. So if you enjoy a perspective that has values and tells the insider view, we need your help. If only 10% of our audience signed up at $10 a month, we'd be covered through the 2026 midterms. And I'd like to get back to helping hard-working Texans have their voices heard at the state capitol. So please consider a gift right now at progresstexas.org/donate. You'll be glad you did, and thank you.
My name is Matthew Bell. I'm a precinct chair in Dallas, and I'm on the City of Dallas Veterans Affairs Commission. Look, we're all busy, and there are different times of the year when we can give more of our time and energy to the party and to the cause. And the idea that I can just, in 9 minutes a day, I can get up to speed on everything that's going on in Austin and everything that's going on with the party is so valuable to me as a working professional, like many of us are. So I really value that, and I love listening to Progress Texas.
It's Friday, July 25th, 2025, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. Drama ratcheting up at the Texas State Capitol yesterday as the first public hearing on the Donald Trump-ordered redrawing of Texas's congressional maps for the president's personal political advantage, and no other clear reason, really, boiled over into shouting, and towards the end of the shit show saw Isaiah Martin, who's one of the several Democratic candidates running in one of the likely targeted districts, number 18, down in Houston. I say likely because these hearings are curiously happening before any proposed maps are presented. Isaiah Martin ended up on the ground twice at that hearing last night, as Abigail Velez at CBS Austin puts it, while he was being forcibly removed by Capitol security after refusing to yield the microphone when his 2-minute time limit expired. According to online jail records, Martin was arrested by DPS and is now facing charges of criminal trespassing, resisting arrest, and disrupting an official meeting. An update shared by Martin's brother on social media says that he may be in jail for up to 3 days. It's unclear this Friday morning as I'm recording this whether he's been released or not. Video of the incident shot by another hearing attendee is linked in the show notes. J. David Goodman at the New York Times says the attendance of this first of 7 planned hearings on redistricting, again with no maps to argue over, just the basic fact that any of this is happening at all, was massive, and similar turnout and reaction is expected at the rest of these hearings, including Saturday in Houston tomorrow, one in Arlington on Monday, and one in Dallas on Tuesday. Among those who testified yesterday were Representatives Joaquin Castro of San Antonio, Greg Casar of Austin, and Sylvia Garcia of Houston, all Democrats, and each serving a district that could be targeted for dramatic redraws. Congressman Castro told the mostly silent and stoic Republicans in the room, quote, "You are all being used. You're being used by the White House and by Donald Trump," unquote, noting the conspicuous absence of any Republican members of Congress present to testify in defense of their efforts. Eleanor Klibanoff of the Texas Tribune says the hearing yesterday saw testimony from both Gary Bledsoe, president of the Texas NAACP, and Gabriel Rosales, Texas State Director of the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, who said, quote, "It's very demoralizing that we can do as much as we can to contribute, but we don't have representation on water boards, on school boards, and city councils across the state, and then people ask why Latinos don't vote," unquote. A rally prior to the hearing outside the Capitol featured former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who said all of this is possible because Donald Trump and Governor Greg Abbott are, quote, "thick as thieves." In order to continue this consolidation of authoritarian power and to destroy this democracy once and for all, Trump has to retain control of the United States House of Representatives, where he currently has a very narrow majority. And it turns out that the policies and the programs that he pursues are deeply unpopular with the American people, unquote. Tiffany Liu and Kevin Reese at WFAA in Dallas say dozens of people were still waiting to testify when the meeting was adjourned at 8:30 last night, but the Democrats, led by Texas House Redistricting Committee Vice Chair John Rosenthal of Houston, continued to listen in a different meeting room after the Republicans hurried off the scene. House Democratic Caucus Chair Gene Wu of Houston weighed in, quote, "This is what Republican contempt for everyday Texans looks like. They call a legislative session for a corrupt purpose, obscure the actual motivations from Texans, hide the map from the public, and now they are literally shutting off the microphones on citizens who have driven hours to be here. While the GOP runs from the people, we will run toward them, unquote. Shifting over to new legal woes for Ken Paxton, a man who has seen more legal woes in the last 5 or 6 years than most of us will see in 5 or 6 lifetimes. Brian Slodisco of the Associated Press says our illustrious AG and U.S. Senate hopeful and his soon-to-be ex-wife, Texas State Senator Angela Paxton, lord over fairly massive real estate holdings, including 3 homes that are now under scrutiny for inaccurate statements in the mortgages related to those houses, claiming that each is the couple's primary residence, which appears to have enabled the Paxtons to improperly lock in low interest rates on those mortgages, resulting in potentially improper savings of tens of thousands of dollars over the terms of those loans, according to an Associated Press review of public records, all of which violates federal law, of course. To be fair here, in just recent months, 2 prominent Democrats, Senator Adam Schiff of California and New York Attorney General Letitia James, have been targeted with similar, though less serious, mortgage fraud allegations. Interestingly, Ken Paxton has weighed in on that James case, saying, quote, "I hope that if she's done something wrong, I hope that she's actually held accountable," unquote. And how rich is that? The AP notes here that considering his relationship to Donald Trump and the fact that his own office is charged with pressing all of this, it's very unlikely that the Paxtons will face the same level of heat that these Democrats have. A somewhat stunning acceptance of the corruption that's been normalized in our country from the Associated Press in this article. See the show notes. Developments in ICE apprehension activity in Dallas have made the radar. An Axios Dallas report says, in particular, arrests of people without criminal charges or convictions soared last month in the Dallas area, according to the Deportation Data Project, which has been tracking these raids, all in line with the Trump administration's decision back in May to triple ICE's arrest quota. As of June 26, about a month back, the most recent data available, the monthly arrest figure increased 59% to 1,726 in the Dallas field office region, which includes North Texas, the Texas Panhandle, and Oklahoma. But striking here is that the monthly share of these detainees without criminal charges or convictions more than doubled from 197 in January to 524, or about 30% of total detainments in June. Allegations of inhumane confinement of some of these Dallas detainees has been circulating on social media. We're looking into that. Our mission at Progress Texas is to counter the billionaire and corporate-funded conservative disinformation machine at a moment when funding for public and independent media outlets and media figures who don't bow down to MAGA is under full attack. Progress Texas relies on listener support to keep going, but we've lately come within 3 months of running out of funding. Progress Texas is in the middle of our summer vacation membership drive, and if just 10% of our audience signs up for a monthly donation of at least $10, we'd be good for the next year. We'd like to avoid going on a permanent vacation, and we could use your support now as a monthly contributor. Please join the fight against authoritarianism and for progress in Texas right now at ProgressTexas.org. Thanks to brand new monthly supporters Jeremy Sutka, Diana Offit, and Pam Rickle, all of whom are on board. We appreciate very much all 3 of you. While you're at our website, make sure and grab the merch to match your progressive values. At our web store, you'll see Y'all Means All Revolution and our most popular Humans Against Ted Cruz t-shirts, all union printed right here in Texas, all at ProgressTexas.org. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Friday, July 25th, 2025. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit, rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.